Welcome back to today's video, and today we're going to be starting a video of the Ethiopian Empire. I've been holding this one off because all of its weak neighbors, stuff like that. But we will see the Ethiopians quickly allying with one of the bigger, stronger countries. For example, the USA, as they will immediately ally with the USA all the way over here. Um, and size up the Russia a bit for y'all. We're gonna have the highlighted parts of this area mostly be this much, as there's not much over here on this map that I could highlight, other than maybe like Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, maybe. But other than that, this is about it that I have of Alaska up here, and we're gonna get Hawaii down here. But we're also gonna get all the way over here in the Alaskan area up here, the Aleutian Island tail thing. But we're gonna see Ethiopia ally with one of their countries surrounding. They don't have too good ally. They're not too good of an ally with the Egyptians. I don't know about the Saudi Arabians, but we're gonna go ahead and say that they are gonna ally with them, and we're gonna go ahead and say they're gonna ally with the South Africans and the Moroccans all the way over here. So they got one really powerful ally that might come to their aid on some stuff, and then some regional allies all the way up from here to here, and even one all the way down right here. We'll even see another ally all the way in India over here, as they will go ahead and instantly look like this. Yeah, not very impressive. We'll also see them allying with the French all the way up here for mostly economic reasons. The same thing with the USA all the way up here. Also, to fix these stuff up here, it won't look pretty. Uh-huh. Okay, I think that might be good enough. Yeah, this will mostly be good enough right now. But we will see the Ethiopians make their first invasion, as they will invade into Somalia, quickly taking advantage of Somaliland, which will go ahead and send a declaration of war into the actual Somalian sovereignty, which will go ahead and look like this. We will see the giant claim they have over this giant region right here. I'm gonna highlight it in white real quick. From here to here and here to here, this giant region that's specified to be Ethiopian and Somalian or whatever, but it's disputed territory in real life. But we will see the Ethiopians quickly invading into Somalia, and yeah, it's an anarchist country. It's not going to end up well for these countries all the way up here, as they will quickly begin to move through Somalia and annex them very quickly. And this is when we're going to have them do a full annexation of Somalia, as to also put their foot down all the way into the massive anarchist states that are in Somalia. We're going to see the deletion of their capital and the full annexation of their original territories that looked like this, which are now Ethiopian. That's a massive upgrade and massive new coast area, and this is when we're going to see a gang up the onto the Yemenis area, as Ethiopia wants this, and the Saudi Arabians want this, which will quickly go ahead and work like so. As again, I think Yemen is a anarchist state, but it is much more controlled compared to the other anarchist states. So we will see the deletion of their capital, and Saudi Arabia has new land into new sea borders into the Red Sea, and Ethiopia owns this island out there, which will heavily uh, benefit them. And even with their ally all the way up into the Indian plate, the Indian tectonic plate up here, the Indian subcontinent. There we go, all the way up here, which will work out for them extremely. We'll also see their ally India fully take over Sri Lanka. So so now there's a bigger grasp onto the Indian Ocean, as they now control mostly like through here to here and here to here. Also over here, actually no, fix that real quick. Can't get rid of any of their islands. So they would probably control most of these areas like so. So this is what they would look like if they became one single nation. Yeah, which is not going to happen in this video. We're going to see the swift annexation of Djibouti, which will look like so after they do this. By this, I have no idea. They'll just also annex all of Eritrea, which will look like so. All the white areas that have no black borders with them, and they don't have a capital. Yeah, and this is when we're going to see the full annexation of both of these countries, of Eritrea and Djibouti, which will look like so. And this is what they look like: a very massive empire, very sizable, and a growing empire, especially with their massive population growing higher and higher every single day. As I believe they have over thousands of births per day. And this is when we're going to see another invasion into another country that borders them, rather than sea borders like what they had with the Yemenis or the Houthis all the way up over here, as this is what allowed them to gain this island right here. And this is when we're going to see the invasion of Kenya. It's not going to look too pretty for the Kenyans, as they will swiftly get invaded by the Ethiopians, which will look like so. And yeah, they are gonna get their butt pummeled by the Ethiopians, and they're even gonna go even further, where they will physically control all land, mile by mile. Like, it doesn't matter. Ethiopians will control these lands. So we will see the full annexation of Kenya, which will also lead to their capital being destroyed or not visible onto the map. Old Kenyan borders, now Ethiopian borders. Sorry, I had to look at something for a second. And this is when we're going to see Uganda become fully Ethiopian all the way over here, which will look like so, as boom and boom. So yeah, also these countries down over here, they're also Ethiopian. I just need to make my brush smaller. So these were basically all previous Burundi and Rwanda borders, and now they're fully Ethiopian, as they will reach all the way down, and they'll extend their borders with the Democratic Republic of Congo, or Congo. No, that would be this country. Never mind. And we're also going to see the strongest country they basically have fought, and it's going to be the Tanzanians, as they will begin to invade into Tanzania. Hence why the brush is even smaller than before, but they'll make steady progress along this Malawian lake or whatever. No, along the lake of Victoria all the way over here. And this is when they'll put their navy into use and swiftly annex their islands all the way to the east. And we're going to see the Ethiopians fully surround the lake of Victoria, and they're going to continue to invade into Tanzania until they've reached the lake of Malawi down here. That's what I'm going to call it, because I don't know what else it's called. We're going to see the Tanzanians fully lose their coast to the Indian Ocean, and they'll slowly lose their coast against the Malawian lake, which will look like so after they will completely lose all coastline, and they would fully surrender, and we will see Ethiopia fully annex this country, as they want to show their strength out to the rest of the world, though it is already proven, as they are already over like 500 million population, I think. probably over 500 million population now, and this is what puts them above the USA in terms of population, and a very large country as they want to become the East African Federation, like what has been planned, but has been canceled over the years due to constitution reasons. And we're going to see peaceful unification with the South Sudanese country right here. So that'll grow them even larger, even with a little bit of population, which is going to make them grow around this large, and it'll lose their capital they've had for many years. So this is what they look like, and they're gonna take up the tiny little islands that are around over here, and over here, those two islands. Even if they are owned by the French or the United Kingdom, they would eventually become their own countries, or be given over to another country. We will see the Saudi Arabians fully take over Qatar all the way over here, and Bahrain, which will swiftly make them look like this, and they'll even invade into the they'll swiftly invade into the UAE country all the way right here, which will force them to end up looking like this now, as they'll grow their country even larger, and like this. So they got an even larger coastline against this Persian. Oh, this is what it's called, Persian Gulf right here, and they even got indirect access to the Indian Ocean from right here, though they already had access right here, which is going to make the Ethiopians even more powerful. And this is when we'll see the Moroccans begin to grow their own country as well, as they would fully take over Western Sahara, get their old country, their old piece of land that broke away from them back. And we're going to see the Ethiopians go on their last conquest, as they will make a union with the DRC, or the Car country right here, as they'll grow even larger. Even at this point, they'll fully join the Ethiopians, which will make them begin to stretch out all the way over here. Let me grab a different color, which will make them stretch all the way from over here to their original borders all the way over here. Which their original borders used to be like something along the lines of like, yeah, they used to be like that, but now they look like this. And there's going to be another union all the way out here, and it's going to be between the Congo country all the way out here. And it'll swiftly make them another giant country that reaches all the way out to the Atlantic Ocean. Also, this is when we will see the invasion of the DRC all the way over here, and the DRC, even though it is a very large country, it is a very weak country, because I believe it was like among one of the lowest ranking countries in the world. Still above North Korea, in my opinion. That's a win. Anything above North Korea is a win in my opinion, but we will see the Ethiopians swiftly take over these lands all the way out here, and they'll even do a trade deal where they would pay a lot of money all the way over here for the Angolan coast, all the way right here, as the US is now growing their country a lot more, as they're getting a bunch of stuff from the Ethiopian markets, as they are official allies, and now they can get easier trade through the DRC and through the Atlantic coast. So now the USA doesn't have to go all the way across the world from Hawaii, travel through this strait, and reach Ethiopia, as now they can reach them through right here, all the way up to their coast right there. And we'll see even more expansion, as now they'll move all the way into Zambia. It's going to be a peaceful union, as this is what they wanted, which is now going to be called the East African Federation, which I don't know if you can call that now, as it's not really East African, it is actually more Central African, but we can talk about that on a later date, as this is what we're going to be ending off the video. After a while, France would leave this alliance. They don't see a point in it. The USA would stay in this alliance as they see heavy amounts of potential in the Ethiopians. The Moroccans would probably leave this alliance, and we're gonna see the Moroccans leave. The Indians will sadly leave. Sadly, yes. As they will quickly begin to leave the alliance all the way through over here. Just okay. There, they will quickly leave. Boom. But the one loyal country they have had on their side forever will not be leaving, and that will be the Saudi Arabia. South Africa sees them as a threat, so they will be quickly leaving, as they have not expanded at all, and they wanted to keep their true intentions as a democratic nation. But this is where we're going to end off the video today as a Ethiopian empire, and peace out.